Have you ever felt a longing for something more, a deeper connection with the divine? We all possess a wellspring of spiritual power within us, waiting to be unlocked. Fasting, a practice often misunderstood, holds the key to unleashing this potential. It's a journey of faith, a step towards a more profound connection with the divine. Fasting is a deeply personal experience, a journey of faith that takes you inward. It's about stripping away the superficial and focusing on what truly matters, your connection with the divine. It's a journey of self-discovery, revealing hidden strengths and deepening your relationship with God. It's not a path for the faint of heart. It requires commitment and surrender, but the rewards are immeasurable. Fasting can lead to spiritual breakthroughs, profound insights, and a renewed sense of purpose. It can transform your life from the inside out. Fasting, a practice as old as time, resonates through the corridors of history. Long before modern interpretations, fasting held a sacred place in ancient cultures and spiritual traditions. It was a way of life, a bridge between the physical and the spiritual realms. The Bible, a tapestry woven with stories of faith, is replete with examples of fasting. From the Old Testament patriarchs to the New Testament disciples, fasting was an integral part of their spiritual journey. It was a practice woven into the fabric of their relationship with God. Consider the prophet Elijah, who, after a miraculous victory over the prophets of Baal, fled to the wilderness and fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. This period of intense spiritual discipline culminated in a profound encounter with God on Mount Horeb. Elijah's fast wasn't merely about abstaining from food, it was about seeking God's presence in the midst of despair and receiving divine guidance for his life. Section 3. The Divine Connection. Fasting isn't about earning God's favor, it's about removing the obstacles that hinder our connection with Him. When we fast, we choose to silence the distractions of the world and create space for God's voice to resonate in our hearts. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus, when asked why his disciples didn't fast like the Pharisees, responded, "But when the bridegroom is taken from them, then they will fast." Jesus highlighted that fasting isn't about outward rituals or empty traditions, but about a heart filled with genuine longing for God. Fasting is a spiritual discipline that draws us closer to God. It's about humbling ourselves before Him, acknowledging our dependence on His grace and seeking His guidance for our lives. Section 1. Types of fasting, a tapestry of spiritual disciplines. Fasting, a multifaceted practice, encompasses various forms, each tailored to a specific spiritual purpose. Like threads woven into a rich tapestry, these different types of fasts offer unique ways to deepen our connection with the divine. The absolute fast, the most rigorous form, involves abstaining from both food and water for a designated period. Section 2. The absolute fast, a complete surrender. The absolute fast, the most intense form of fasting, demands complete surrender. It's a deliberate act of abstaining from both food and water, symbolizing utter dependence on God. This practice, not to be taken lightly, should only be undertaken for short periods and under proper guidance. In the Bible, we encounter instances of absolute fasts during moments of profound spiritual significance. Moses, after receiving the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai, fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, signifying a period of deep communion with God and preparation for leading his people. Similarly, when Esther, the Queen of Persia, learned of the plot to annihilate her people, she called upon her uncle Mordecai and all the Jews in Susa to join her in a 3-day absolute fast. This collective act of desperation and dependence on God ultimately led to their deliverance. Section 3. Normal fasts seeking spiritual nourishment. Normal fasts, a cornerstone of spiritual disciplines across various faiths, provide a pathway to deeper intimacy with God. Unlike the absolute fast, this practice allows for the intake of liquids while abstaining from food. This approach, more sustainable for extended periods, facilitates a shift from physical sustenance to spiritual nourishment. In the Gospels, Jesus, our ultimate example, embarked on a 40-day normal fast in the wilderness, enduring temptation and emerging victorious through prayer and reliance on God's word. This period of intense spiritual preparation marked the beginning of his public ministry, demonstrating the transformative power of seeking God in solitude and fasting. The prophet Daniel, renowned for his unwavering faith and divine revelations, practiced normal fasts as a means of seeking God's wisdom and guidance. His commitment to abstaining from rich foods and delicacies allowed him to hear God's voice more clearly and receive prophetic visions. Section 1. Preparing the temple, a holistic approach to fasting. Fasting, a sacred journey of the soul, requires more than just willpower. It demands a holistic approach that encompasses body, mind, and spirit. Just as one prepares a temple for a sacred ceremony, we must prepare ourselves for this transformative experience. Before embarking on a fast, take time to examine your motivations. Are you fasting out of a sincere desire to draw closer to God, or are there other motivations at play? Fasting should never be about outward appearances or self-righteousness, but about a heart that longs for deeper intimacy with the divine. Consider the type of fast that aligns with your spiritual goals and physical capacity. Start gradually, especially if you're new to fasting. A partial fast or a shorter duration might be a gentler introduction. Remember, it's not about proving anything, but about aligning yourself with God's will for your life. Section 2. The physical preparation, honoring the body. As you embark on your fasting journey, remember that honoring your body is paramount. While fasting involves abstaining from certain foods or drinks, it should never be about punishing your body, but about aligning it with your spiritual goals. In the days leading up to your fast, gradually reduce your intake of processed foods, caffeine, and sugary drinks. These substances can trigger cravings and make the initial stages of fasting more challenging. Instead, focus on consuming whole, unprocessed foods like fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins. Section 3. The spiritual preparation, aligning with the divine. While physical preparation is important, the true essence of fasting lies in aligning your heart with God. It's about creating space for Him to move in your life, to hear His whispers more clearly, and to experience His presence more profoundly. Begin by setting aside dedicated time for prayer and meditation each day. Use this time to quiet your mind, confess any sins that are hindering your relationship with God, and surrender your will to His. As you pray, ask God to reveal His purpose for your fast and to guide you throughout the process. Section 1. Modern miracles, testimonies of transformation. In our modern world, amidst the noise and distractions, the ancient practice of fasting still holds the power to transform lives. Countless individuals from all walks of life have experienced profound breakthroughs and spiritual awakenings through the discipline of fasting. Take, for instance, the story of Sarah, a young woman struggling with anxiety and a sense of emptiness. Feeling lost and alone, she decided to embark on a 3-day fast, seeking guidance and peace. During those days of abstaining from food and focusing on prayer, Sarah experienced a profound shift within her. As I fasted, Sarah shares, the constant worries that clouded my mind began to fade. I felt a closeness to God I had never experienced before. His peace, which surpasses all understanding, filled my heart. It was during that fast that I realized my anxiety stemmed from a lack of trust in God's plan for my life. Fasting helped me surrender my fears to Him and embrace His peace. Section 2. Breaking chains, freedom through fasting. Fasting, often associated with spiritual growth, also possesses a remarkable capacity to break the chains of addiction and unhealthy attachments. By denying the physical cravings, we weaken the hold they have over us, creating space for God's healing power to flow. Consider the testimony of Mark, a man trapped in the grips of alcohol addiction for years. Desperate for freedom, he stumbled upon the concept of fasting as a tool for breaking free from destructive habits. With trembling hands and a heart full of hope, he embarked on his first fast. The physical cravings were intense at first, Mark reveals, but as I pressed into prayer and focused on God's promises, I felt a surge of strength I didn't know I possessed. Each time I was tempted to give in, I cried out to God, and He met me with an overwhelming sense of peace and resolve. Section 3. A tapestry of testimonies, voices of faith. The transformative power of fasting reverberates through the tapestry of human experience. From physical healing to spiritual breakthroughs, the testimonies of those who have embraced this ancient practice paint a vivid picture of God's faithfulness. Maria, a woman battling a chronic illness, shares her story of healing through fasting. "I had prayed for healing for years," she confides, "but it was during a season of dedicated fasting that I experienced a breakthrough. As I focused on God's word and His promises, I felt a physical shift in my body. My energy returned, the pain subsided, and I knew in my heart that God had answered my prayers." Section 1. Embracing spiritual transformation. Fasting, as explored throughout our journey, is more than a mere abstinence from food. It's a transformative spiritual discipline that deepens our connection with the divine. By willingly emptying ourselves of worldly sustenance, we create a sacred space for spiritual nourishment that fosters profound personal and spiritual growth. This practice, rooted in ancient wisdom and embraced across various faiths, remains a powerful tool for those seeking a deeper understanding of themselves and their relationship with God. This transformative journey through fasting opens the door to heightened spiritual awareness and sensitivity. As our physical appetites are subdued, our spiritual senses are sharpened, allowing us to perceive and appreciate the subtle movements of the divine within our lives. It's in these moments of quietude and sincere reflection that we often receive the most profound insights and revelations about our purpose and God's plan for us. Moreover, fasting serves as a mirror reflecting our inner spiritual state, revealing areas of our lives that require change or renewal. Section 2. Fasting, a personal and communal journey. Fasting, though deeply personal, does not have to be a solitary endeavor. In fact, its power is often magnified when shared with a community of believers who are similarly committed to spiritual growth. This communal aspect of fasting can forge stronger bonds within faith communities, promoting a sense of unity and shared purpose that enriches the fasting experience. By engaging in communal fasting, participants can encourage and support one another, sharing insights and drawing strength from each other's faith and dedication. This practice also invites us to explore the diversity of fasting traditions across different cultures and religious backgrounds, enhancing our understanding and appreciation of global spiritual practices. Such exploration can lead to a more inclusive and empathetic worldview, fostering interfaith dialogue and cooperation. It's an opportunity to learn from one another and to celebrate the myriad ways in which humans seek connection with the divine. Furthermore, the communal experience of fasting can serve as a powerful witness to the transformative potential of this practice, inspiring others to embark on their own spiritual journeys. As communities share the outcomes and revelations of their collective fasting experiences, they contribute to a larger narrative of spiritual renewal and divine encounter that transcends individual stories. Section 3. The infinite potential of a fasting lifestyle. Adopting fasting as a regular spiritual discipline offers limitless potential for personal and communal transformation. It is not merely an act to be reserved for specific times or seasons, but a lifestyle choice that continuously fosters spiritual awareness and growth. By integrating fasting into our regular spiritual practices, we maintain an ongoing posture of humility and openness to divine guidance, making us more receptive to God's voice and more resilient in the face of life's challenges. As we embrace fasting as a way of life, we also invite ongoing renewal and transformation. This disciplined approach helps in cultivating virtues such as patience, perseverance, and self-control, which are essential for a robust spiritual life. Each fasting period becomes an opportunity to step back from the chaos of everyday life and realign our priorities with those of the divine, ensuring that our actions and decisions are guided by spiritual wisdom and insight. Moreover, The practice of fasting can be adapted to fit different stages of life and spiritual needs, making it a flexible tool for spiritual development. Whether one engages in partial, normal, or absolute fasts, each style serves a unique purpose and can be tailored to support one's spiritual goals and physical capabilities. In conclusion, the journey of fasting is a pathway to infinite spiritual depth and clarity.